Welcome to Lesson 5. The three songs in this lesson are Long, Long Ago, Simple Gifts, and Auld Lang Syne, the song that they sing at New Year's. We're going to do the foundations that will get you ready to play those three songs, and the three songs are covered on their own help video. So in the foundations, we want to step into the scale first. So let's jump right in. We're going to do the scale in whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. The eighth notes go by pretty quick, so we're going to do those 2 times. This is like the other recordings. The only difference is that we're going to make the whole notes carry into the next. So before we did 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to hold the note down and make a legato. So the legato is where the bottom of the note is connected to the next one. So the finger's at the bottom of the key, and then the other finger comes to the bottom of the key. This is very much how you walk, because you always have one foot on the ground. That you do, and my hand here is the bottom of the key. So that's called legato. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the scale. That I do myself on the piano when I come to it first thing in the morning. It helps get me grounded and centered right into the playing. And we'll talk more about why we do that in the next lessons. Let's go right on to the echo. So in the echo, we have a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes. And these ideas are being pulled right from the songs that you're going to play. The idea with echo is that once you can do it with a few notes, you do it with more. It asks you to remember more, and you'll start to get a sense of how musical sentences are put together. Okay? So I play first, and then you play back to me. 1, 2, listen first. Ready, play. Play. Ready, play. Play. Okay, now we're going to do the solfege. My voice goes down low and it's easier for me to sing there. You can sing wherever it's comfortable for you. So the way this works, I play it on the piano and then we echo with the do, re, mi part, just like it's written in the book. Okay? Do, do, re, mi, re, do. So, fa, mi, fa, so. Re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Re, do, re, mi, re, do. So, fa, mi, re, do. All right, let's go on to the jam. So the rhythm that we have in the first jam is sometimes called a shuffle rhythm. When you play a fiddle, you actually play this rhythm faster. And it's quite common in fiddle songs. So I wanted to put it in here as one of our jams. It's a very common rhythm to use. It is the rhythm that forms the foundation of Long, Long Ago. So we'll do it more in a Long, Long Ago tempo. And it's fun to play with because the combination of quarter notes and eighth notes, you can mix up repeated notes and go through scales and jumps and skips, and it works really nicely. So it's great to have that in your repertoire when you're making up music. So the first bit sounds a bit like this when you go a little slower. Right? So you can change anytime you want. That's an easy one to take off on. The idea with jam is that what you see on the page is just the beginning, and then you run with it and you make up your own. So you get to used to talking with the notes that you're going to use for the songs that are in this lesson. Okay? So the second three measures is a different rhythm. Okay, different combination of quarter, eighth, and half notes. Second line, first three measures, sounds like this. Okay, and that comes in simple gifts. The last three measures of the jam, those are just, sometimes, I actually have a name for that. Sometimes I'll call it elevator. And when I'm working with someone who's never played before, this idea sticks pretty easily. You're going to go up and down the keys in order. You're not going to skip any. And you're going to change randomly, just like an elevator goes up through a building. Goes up and then it changes and comes back down and goes up and down, right? So this is a very, very common way to start to improvise. You're going to move through the notes of the scale and just change in random places. So I'm going to play what's on the page, but it's a lot easier if you just change whenever you want. Okay. All right. So what's on the page? Okay. So I use the fingering of the scale. with the thumb under and the finger over to keep it consistent. That actually works quite well. So if you always have the same finger on the same note in the key you're playing in, you get a sense it connects to your ear more easily, right? So one of the things that I like to do with Elevator is every once in a while, as I go along, I'll put in a long note. And by putting in a long note, it's like putting in a breath for a singer. It would sound a little bit like this. Right? So one way to make music sound really good is to imitate the voice. And anybody who sings has to take a breath. So putting in a natural long note in places and then getting started again, even if it's just a random place, how you do it, that extra length creates a very nice way of beginning to understand how phrases work. And in Long, Long Ago and even Simple Gifts, these other songs, you'll notice that the long notes, they don't come by accident. They're planned in and they have this real balanced feel to them. And part of the reason it works is because it's sounding very much like the voice. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing your jams. You throw in long notes to create phrasing. Okay? All right. So for the song cipher, what we're running into in this lesson, more so than others, is we're going to actually have the left hand jumping, right? Skipping to new places. And this follows very nicely with the chords. So the song cipher there, if I do the left hand by itself, the G, B, and D of the first measure, that forms a G chord. The bottom note of the second measure is a D, then an F sharp, black note. That's a D chord, right? So we're going from a G chord to a D chord, back to a G chord, and then this is what they call a D7 chord. That note is the 7th degree of the scale. When you put it with what's in the right hand, you get this real nice thing here. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so you're going to start to run into this pattern where you hold the bottom note, play the chord on top, right? And it makes a very nice thing. On the bottom line, notes by themselves. Here's, and then the C chord, right? So the chord, G, B, D, G chord, D, F sharp, A, D chord, C, E, G, C chord. Those are going to happen a lot in the next few lessons. Particularly, we're going to start to focus in on being able to change our chords. Okay? So 2 more things. If we jump back to the third line, the last 2 measures, you're going to see thumb, and you're supposed to cross over your pointer finger to the G sharp, but you leave your thumb. So it's a way of catching that note just below the G without having to move your hand. And then I do it slow and twice as fast. And then it's easier to remember. All right. If we jump right below that, you're going to see the fingering 5, 2, 1. That's G position. Very commonly now we have to learn how to cover more notes. 5, 2, 1. So our thumb stretches out in G position, and then the pinky and the thumb cover an octave, D to D. And that happens a lot in the left hand. The left hand, G, D, G, where your hands cover an octave. All right? So That covers the song cipher, and I'll mention a few things as we get right into the song if something has been left out. Thank you for joining me. The song videos are dedicated to each of the 3 songs by themselves, so you can find those here on the website as well. And we're covering Long, Long Ago, and the second song is Simple Gifts, and the third song is Auld Lang Syne. Thanks very much.